So, one of the most frequently asked questions I see with people coming into Hellenism or any form of paganism is, how do you pray? So, before we begin, I want to say there truly isn't a single answer to this question. And the more people you ask, the more answers you are likely to get. However, I will give an answer to this question according to my own knowledge and practices, as well as give some other insights that I've heard from others. Now, as far as other pagan traditions aside from Hellenism, I am not going to speak on. Before we get into it, help the channel grow by subscribing and hitting that like button. Alright, the first thing that needs to be clarified, and as I've stated in a previous video, is that prayer is in no way exclusive to Christianity or monotheistic religions. This is often a hurdle that people have to overcome when venturing into a pagan religion, as they tend to have a disdain for the practice, viewing it as a Christian practice. Ancient religions were praying to their gods long before Christianity was ever a concept. In the book Hellenic Polytheism, Household Worship, prayer is defined as the act of worship by which we call upon the divine to hear and grant our petition. Now, truthfully, not every act of prayer is or should be, in my opinion, a request for something. It could be as simple as a prayer of thanks for the blessings you have in your life already, or a prayer of thanks for a meal you are about to consume for the nourishment of your body. The simple act of thanks can have a profound effect upon your life, as it is so important to be thankful for what you have each day. By having an attitude of gratitude towards your own life, you will begin to develop more positive thought patterns and emotions, which in turn strengthens your relationships with others, social bonds, and your own mental health. Think of it like this. If you were to give someone a gift and they scoffed at it and appeared to be ungrateful for it, would you be inclined to give them another? Probably not. Before you can truly begin to change your situation or pray for changes within your own life, you should be grateful for what you do have. This will also change the way you pray and your mindset towards prayer. But in the grand scheme of things, if you are able to watch this video and have food, clothing, and shelter, there are others out there who do not have what you have or the luxuries that we so often take for granted. So if nothing else, you are alive for another day, so be thankful for that. Now, when our prayers sound like, "Oh gods, please bless me that I may be able to pay my bills this month," we are solidifying within our own subconscious minds that we are broke and further hindering our own progress. When we adopt gratitude into our attitude, we retain positive thoughts and emotions while deflecting negative thoughts and emotions, which is greatly important, since if all we focus our intentions upon are negative thoughts and emotions, how can we hope to bring about the positive? When someone dwells on something over a period of time, it often comes to pass. Similar to people who believe themselves to be sick when they're not, will often find themselves to have an illness. So when you pray to the gods of ancient Greece, traditionally you should stand upon your own 2 feet, as this is because they admire courage. So stand on your own 2 feet in the presence of the gods and pray aloud. I have heard others say that they kneel to pray, and there is nothing wrong with this. We actually see in surviving works of Platon, he prescribes kneeling during prayer. We see this in Jeffrey Cooperman's books, Living Theurgy and A Theurgist Book of Hours, which I do recommend and will put links to below. Regardless of whether you stand or kneel to pray to the gods of ancient Greece, I would say that it is genuinely agreed upon that you should not grovel or beg. If you read through the Iliad and the Odyssey, you can see how the ancients approached prayer to the gods, standing, speaking aloud, and offering libations. So using that as an example, when you are praying to an Olympian god or goddess, or a heavenly deity in general, and regardless of whether you are standing or kneeling, you should have both hands out before you with your palms facing upwards to the heavens. Now, if your palms are upwards for an Olympian or heavenly deity, it would make sense that your palms would face downward when praying to an underworld deity. So if your palms are upward for a heavenly deity, down for an underworld deity, they should be facing outward for a deity or spirit of the material world. So what do you say to the gods when you pray? Some of the best prayers to use are the Orphic hymns, and anyone can access Thomas Taylor's translations for free at thei.com. However, I do prefer Patrick Dunn's translations in his book, The Orphic Hymns, which I will also link below. You may also write your own prayers if you feel so inclined. One agreed upon method of doing this is by reciting aspects of myths surrounding the god or goddess you are praying to, stating past offerings you have given to the deity, and reciting different epithets of the deity. This can be followed by an offering of a libation and a request or the purpose of your prayer. So I want to use this opportunity also to explain the purpose or the reason in which I pray to the gods. Now I know that not everyone will agree with this. However, the gods are perfect beings who do not need the prayers or offerings from us. They gain nothing from it. But when we are consistent within our prayers, we form a connection, or a bridge, if you will, to the deity in question. This connection to the god or goddess allows their energy or influence to flow freely into our own lives, which we benefit greatly from. Now, I have talked about influences within my own life in other videos, so I will not go into that here, but it is important to note that you will not always see the connection when moving forward. Sometimes you just have to look back and reflect on your life before you see how the pieces fell into place, before you can really see the influence of the gods within your life. And finally, you've prayed, so how do you mark the end of your prayer? Many people have adopted "so mote it be" or some variation of that phrase, which there is nothing wrong with this. I continue to use a gesture taught to me by my mentor, friend, and teacher, which is that of touching your head, your heart, and then your lips before touching the altar, or saluting the god or goddess with your palm outward. While doing this, you recite mentally, "May I think, feel, and speak only praise to the gods." So, how do you end your prayers? Was there anything I missed in the video, or is there something you would like to see covered in another video? Let me know in the comments below. I will also be sharing my own personal daily devotional prayer soon, as well as a walkthrough of my 4 solar adorations to Helios. But until then, come join the community on Discord and Facebook. You can also go to echoesfrometernity.com for my blog, or create a free account for more content, which includes a forum. There is also an Android app for the website. If you made it this far, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell notification so you know when new content is uploaded. Also consider sharing this video to help the channel grow. Check the description for all the links mentioned in this video. Thanks for joining me here at Echoes from the Temple, where we bridge the spiritual with the magical, and I will see you next time.